Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. This is a channel about cross stitch. This is Flosstube number 33. Today is Saturday the 9th of April. I hope you're all fine and well and enjoying the spring-like weather hopefully you're having. It is very changeable here in the west coast of Scotland, but at the moment it's kind of sunny and bright, not particularly warm, but at least it's not raining for a change. Thank you for everyone's wonderful comments that you left on my last video. Some people gave me some great advice, directed me to some great resources, which would be good for both me and my mum. What I'll do is I'll do a little bit of a life update at the end of the video after I've been through the rest of the things that I've been working on. It's about 2.5 weeks since my last video, and to be honest, I've worked on 6 projects, which includes a new start, but my stitching time has been really compromised, so I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I'll manage to make some great progress. I have no finishes this week, which is unfortunate, but it would be good if I could try and get finishes. That kind of motivates me. So as I say, I've got 6 projects that I've worked on. I have actually a horrendous amount of haul. I have a lot of haul. A lot of the stuff that I had ordered from market has come in now. I also want to mention some Stitchy kindness that I received, and I have a giveaway as well in this video. Yeah, I think I'll just crack on and show you what I've been stitching in the last couple of weeks. So this is in no particular order. I'll try and keep the new start to the end, but genuinely it'll be in no particular order. Oh, you may notice that I have new glasses. It was required, and it was kind of something happened that made me go and get new glasses. I broke my other ones. So then I super glued them. It was just a little bit at the bridge, but I made an appointment with one of the local opticians. And I had plenty of very positive comments about my other glasses. I had bought them when I lived in the Netherlands from a company called Hans Anders, which is a chain store over there. So if anybody is living in the Netherlands and that's where you wanted to know where I got my glasses from, that's where I got them. These ones are from an independent optician here locally, but they're Tom Ford. And unfortunately, I've now crossed over into varifocals. So these are varifocals for me. I don't know if people have got bifocals or varifocals, but there was a kind of little bit of a, oh, you'll take time to get used to them, blah, blah, blah. But actually, it's been fine. I've had no problems at all. I came home, I didn't drive right away, but when I came home, I put them on, and that's it. They've stayed on ever since. The other ones are there as a spare pair. But yes, varifocals. Old age does not come itself. It certainly doesn't, between that and the grey hair. But yeah, just battle on through it. But yeah, so I have new glasses. They're not my usual type. The choice was not as wide as I would have hoped, and the ones that I thought I would like I didn't suit. So I settled on these ones, but the opticians were like, yeah, just bring, if you see something you like, let us know and we can order it in for you. So I'll maybe do that in the future. But yeah, so varifocals, that's me. That's it. So let me talk about stitching. What have I been doing in the last 2.5 weeks? Well, I've got quite a few projects here to share with you. The first one I want to show you is this one here, which is Blackbird Design from the Sewing Club booklet. You may remember I started this one here at the bottom, which is called Willing Hands. And I am stitching this. I'll get myself organised to show you. I am stitching this on 32 count fibre on a whim, cream and sugar, which is hotly becoming my favourite fabric. Absolutely loving it. I spent quite a bit of time building houses in the last couple of weeks. But I'm quite happy with the progress on this one. I am absolutely loving the colours. This is all the called for colours, which I believe are all over dyes. Here's my bag and I'll show you. Should have them all here. So it's all the colours. And I must admit, I'm absolutely loving the stitching on this. And every project that I have at the moment, I'm really enjoying, and I have to force myself to put it down to pick up something else, which I think is a good position to be in. But yeah, building the house there, I was a little bit concerned that putting in the bricks would kind of not annoy me, but I'm more likely to maybe lose count. But I didn't. It's actually fine, and I think if I stick with it, it'll not take me so long to finish that house. So yeah, that's my progress on Willing Hands by Blackbird Design from the Sewing Club book. So it sits on 32 count, fibre on a whim, 2/2 using the called for over dyed threads, and the fabric is cream and sugar. Okay, and again, if you just bear with me for 5 seconds while I put them away, because yeah, I do make some amount of mess when I'm filming. Okay, so the next project that I worked on in the last couple of weeks is this lovely Hands Across the Sea. Now here was me all being organised, having everything stacked nicely, and yeah, get the booklet out, which is this one here. And that's the Rose and the Giant Pear by Hands Across the Sea samplers. And I am stitching this on, again, a fibre on a whim fabric. This is 32 count Affogato by Fibre on a Whim. And what you can see there is, again, I've been building a house, and I made quite a bit of progress. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for not returning to the border. That's really what I should do now. I should really return and move that border along a bit, because there's a kind of other bit of the house, and then you've got the rows on the other side. So I don't like to leave border stitching all to the end. That always kind of I struggle with that. So I really want to try and pick it up. But this is stitched with the DMC, all the called for DMC, and as I say, it's 32 count, fibre on a whim, Affogato is the fabric, and yeah, really enjoying it, enjoying that red. It's lovely. The thing is, none of this is really close to a finish, so I know I want a finish, but I will need to choose something and really put a lot of effort in to try and get it finished. And it may not be possible, but yeah. So what else have I been working on? I've also been working on this one here, and this is by Cottage Garden Samplings, and this is Christmas Eve. And if you've been watching me a little while, you'll know that my plan, hopefully, is to try and have this finished and fully finished as a stand-up for my mum as part of her Christmas, but my progress is slightly slow, so wait till I show you. In the last 2 weeks, what I've managed to do is fill in the whole of the beard. I had some left, and then I started the fill-in of the red jacket, but my progress is very slow. As I say, I've not stitched as much as I would have liked over the last kind of 2.5 weeks, but I did manage to stitch on all the projects, so that I was quite pleased with that. But I do need to try and make some progress on this one. Now this is stitched on 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus, and it's stitched using all the called for, which is mostly DMC and 2 over dyes. Over dye I think is for the red coat, and there's a green which I think is for the sack, I think. Yeah, if you look on the poinsettia and also down at the bottom of his trousers, that's going to be the over dye. But it's still a really great stitch. I've really enjoyed it, but progress is slow. And this is heavy. I stitched, I think, for a good few hours, and I felt as if I made no progress. So that can be a little bit disheartening, but I'm going to try and stick with it and get more of that cloak done. Because that's pretty time consuming, but it's a really enjoyable stitch. Okay, what else? And then I also what's that? 3 down, 3 to go. What's this one here? Oh yes. So I did manage to put in quite a few stitches on this project here, and this is by Cuore e Batticuore, and this is called Halloween in Quilts. I've just posted in the last couple of days, I think, a progress picture, because I managed to get the little witch finished at the bottom here. But yeah, this is like super fun, and I think really for me, for this one, it's the threads and the colours. I just really love the combination. It's a huge piece of fabric I've got, because it is actually quite a large design, and I'm stitching this as a stitch along with the lovely Melanie from MelyElly Stitches. So we've got a hashtag. The hashtag is stitching in quilts. So there is a range of these charts. Melanie's stitching I think it's sewing in quilt. This is obviously the Halloween in quilt, and I believe there may also be a summer in quilt and a winter. I think they're spring based, season based. I think I don't have any more. I have only the one. They're really large. They're like 230 by 200, I think. And there's a lot of stitching. There's a lot of border stitching in it. Now this is stitched on 32 count seraphim, old stationery. And as you can see, I got the cute little witch finished. I've not finished, obviously, all the back stitch. There's back stitch come down here, and then we need to do the bristles of her broom, and I also still need to do the border. But yeah, that's how it's looking so far. But I'm really, really enjoying the colour changes. It's all DMC, but there's a lot of stitching in it. So even if I stitch for a couple of hours, the progress was slow. It was all slow. But yeah, so that's my Halloween in quilt that I'm stitching along with the lovely Melanie. So if you've got one of these charts and you've not started and you need an excuse to start, this would be your excuse. You can start along and join. I am not finishing anytime soon. I would even be as brave to say I will not finish this year, I don't think, because there is an awful lot still to do. Yeah, if you look back at the chart, there's a lot still to do. So yeah, I'm just going to see if I can see the exact stitch count. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Oh yeah, it's 160 by 240. So it's not the biggest, but I'm not the quickest of stitchers. So yeah, progress is slow. What else have I been stitching on? Oh, I'm wrong. I've got 2 new starts, because we're now in April and I haven't obviously filmed in April yet. So it was time to do my monthly marker, and I finally started it just last night. So I don't have a lot of progress, but I'll certainly share it with you. And the one that I'm doing this time is this one up here. I hope you can see that. So this is the one that I'm doing for the month of April. I'm stitching this on 28 count sparklies parchment using the called for DMC, and I don't have a lot of progress, but I have a start. So I've done the little birdhouse and I'm starting on the first bird. That's as far as I've gotten with this one, but so far so good, no problems. Kind of enjoying it. It was a nice change. Yeah, so it's stitched on 2/2 on 28 count sparklies parchment. And then in the last couple of weeks I had to oh, and if you're stitching the Prairie birds, I'm also got a I also have a hashtag for that. It's called hashtag a year in Prairie birds. No, a year of Prairie birds. So it would be great if you could join in, and then I can see your progress on that as well. I think a couple of people have been doing them, so it's always good to see what other people have done, particularly if you've changed the fabric or the threads or anything. That's always very good to share with others. So I was chatting with the lovely Susan, who is Paper Girl NC on Instagram, about the market release from Summer House Stitch Works called Spring Awakens. And she also had the chart and was looking forward to starting it. So we just threw caution to the wind and we started. So we started, I think, on the 1st of April. I haven't done so much of it, but maybe hopefully tomorrow I'll get to get some more stitches on it. I started on the left hand side and I've basically done the whole first column. So that's the whole length of the or the height of the project, and then I'm just working on this second part here with the blue. So, and this is stitched on 32 count fibre on a whim, cream and sugar. As I say, it's becoming my new favourite for some reason, and it's stitched using all the called for DMC. Now this project only uses 3 colours: DMC 924, DMC 758 and DMC 680. The stitch count is 118 by 88. I have the threads here, you can see them. As I say, it's only the 3. Hopefully you can see what they look like. But there's something very enjoyable about this stitch because it's quite simple in terms of the colour palette, but it's kind of blown out a little bit. It shouldn't be. It should hopefully adjust. But yeah, it's only the 3 colours. I have the other one, which is Winter Cometh, but as of yet I've not started that one. So I'm glad that Susan had the wonderful idea to kind of get started on the spring one. I would like to try and keep going, and that might be the focus piece that I have in the next kind of few days, to see if I can make some big progress on it, because it is quite, it's quite an easy going stitch. There's not lots of colour changes, and you can just kind of make some progress, which is probably what we all want. We all just want progress on our projects. But yeah, so please follow Susan and follow the hashtag, which is Spring Awakens SAL. So there's 3 hashtags, which I'll link them all, put them all below in the box if you want to join along. Yeah, and get involved in what I'm stitching and what others are stitching along with me. So that has been my projects over the last 2.5 weeks. Now, the thing is, 6 projects I think is quite a lot. I work full time, have a few other things going on in my life. So maybe for the next couple of weeks I just focus on 3 projects to see if I can make some real progress. Well, that's kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. Excuse me while I have a quick drink of water. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Maybe I need to just slow down and see if I can focus to get some things finished. There's a strong possibility in 2 weeks when I come back that's not what I've done, and I've started a whole load of other stuff. But yeah, so that's my projects. And then I've obviously got quite a lot of haul to share. So some of this is quite kind of straightforward haul. So I wanted to share this little needle minder that I picked up, and I got it from this company here. So that's the little needle minder, and it's because I'm planning to do a stitch that's kind of photography based. So I wanted a nice little needle minder to go with it, and this was the company that I bought it from. I hope that'll focus. Will it focus? Okay, got that off Etsy. Although at the moment, I think on Etsy you'll all have seen that they've increased their pricing or the charges. So you may want to think twice about buying it at the moment. But yeah, so I got that. I also received my threads from the monthly club that I have with Lakeside Needlecrafts. These were the threads for this month. I think, I'm not sure if this is month 9. But yeah, I'll not go through them. You all kind of know the... But yeah, so we got a nice little bundle of threads. I'll add them to my ring. I might show you the thread ring that I have with all the threads so far from the Classic Colourworks threads of the month. And then I have some charts and I have some fabric. I might do the fabric first. I normally always leave my fabric to the end, but maybe not. So I picked up a couple of pieces of fox and rabbit fabric. So let me just make sure I get them correct. This is flannel flow. It's 32 count by fox and rabbit. And that's probably quite accurate to what it looks like. Quite a nice wattling on it. Yeah, that's kind of blown it out a little bit. So that was the first piece, and I got these from Peakside Needleworks. And the second piece is 32 count salt brush. This bit's a little bit darker. But yeah. And what I'll do is I'll show you them both together so you get an idea. Because it's quite hard buying them off a website. You don't know what you're getting. In all seriousness, I didn't know what I was getting. And probably neither of them look like what I thought they would look like. But that's them both together. So flannel flow, I think, and salt brush. That's the two of them. And as I say, I got them from Peakside Needleworks. And yeah, quite happy with them, but not what I thought. Which sounds a bit of a contradiction, but it's not. It's just me. Okay, and I also picked up, again, excuse the rustling, but you know, fabric all comes now in different kind of recyclable packaging. And just now everything's falling. Bear with me, please. There's just a little haul. And then I picked up this piece, and this is from 123 Stitch, and this is Picture This Plus Tarnish. Yeah, it looks about accurate. So yeah. And then I also got my Sparklies fabric of the month. This is going to be really crinkly. But I really like this fabric. This looks lovely in my opinion. So it's quite a large piece. And this is March's fabric of the month. I'm sure, I don't think it's come in yet. I've also got a Jodiery design one, but I don't think it's come in. So that's the 32 count linen, if you can read that. So I'm really pleased with all those pieces of fabric. And one thing, I thought the tarnish, I bought it for a particular chart, which I don't think it'll work, but I'll show you that. So this also came from 123 Stitch when I bought the tarnish. So this is by Brenda Gervais. What's it there? And it's Heart and Hands. Hope you can see that. And my plan was to stitch it on this, but I'm not really sure now. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I think it called for is Dolphin. Oh no, it's Dove. The called for is Dove by Weeks. And I had thought I would do it on Tarnish, but maybe I'm not going to do it now. But yeah, so that was a chart that I purchased, and I also got this one from 123 Stitch as well. Kind of thinking a little bit about doing home sweet home stuff for my house. Plan will hopefully be that I'm in by summer or late summer maybe. I don't really want to wait till winter time. I would rather be in, if I'm not in by the summer, late summer, maybe autumn, so maybe September, October at the latest. So yeah, I was thinking about doing some home sweet home stuff for my house, and I really like that one. So yeah, that's by Thistles. And then I picked up these couple of charts. I wanted some kind of quick stitches so that I can get a quick return. I do like a finish. And this will probably be one of the only videos that I've made so far in 2022 where I've not had a finish. So that kind of tells you that my stitching time has been cut short, but also I'm maybe spreading myself too thinly across all the projects. So I noticed Kim, the Contented Stitcher, she had started stitching this one and I loved it. So I had to run out and get it. And when I was buying this one, I also saw this chart from JBW's design, which I thought was really nice, and that's Alphabet Hearts. I really liked it. I liked the kind of colour on it. So actually this might be the one that I start next. Yeah, I really like it. So yeah, I picked up those two small little charts. I also picked this up from Arts and Design. These are these kind of 3D, so you stitch them up and then make them into little ones. They had like a mouse, they had a cat, and the cat was sold out, and they had a couple of birds, and I thought the spring bird was quite nice, so I picked that one up. And I also picked up, or I managed to get my last couple of Blackbird designs that were released from market. So Humming of the Bees, which I think you've seen quite a few people share this one already. It's lovely, more house building. And also this one here, which a heart remembers, and I'm sure there's been quite a few Flosstubers who have done flip-throughs of this. But yeah, it's the usual beautiful design. It's just beautiful. I've really, there's nothing in this I wouldn't want to stitch. I just now need to live to be 400 or stop work. One or other might be quite applicable. And as I was saying earlier, I have this kind of, I don't know what it is. It's probably because it'll be the first time I live alone in many, many years, and I'm kind of doing my house the way I want to do it. So I had seen this and I thought I would really like to do it. This by Little Dove Designs. I've bought quite a few of their charts, but have yet to stitch them. But that wasn't very good, Amanda. But here it is. Hopes and Dreams. And you know, I quite like the simplicity of this one. Not that I'm sure what the decor is going to be like in my house, but I thought that one might be quite nice. And then I realised I've got flea market flowers that I haven't finished, and so yeah, I'm going to resist starting this one, but I quite like that one. And last but by no means least, I picked up this chart here, which is the Orange Tree Sampler by Carriage House Samplings. But who in their world would not want to stitch a ginger cat? Certainly I do. So I picked up the chart. I don't know where I got this one from. It wasn't Peakside, so I need to maybe have a look around to see where I purchased the one. And then I bought all the DMC so that I had them, so that I was ready to start. I think I have a piece of fabric that would be ideal for this one, but I couldn't help but notice that the model has been stitched by the lovely Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl. So that's her beautiful stitching there on this model. And to be honest, this is my colour palette. The olives and the oranges, and it's got a cat and a bird. Yeah, it's fabulous. So if I'm being honest, a couple of days ago, I thought I could just start that. Just do a few stitches and then I'm started. But I did resist. I have quite a few projects at the moment and I need to try and get some finished. But yeah, so that was the final piece of my haul. That's what I've got so far, which is quite a lot. My plan is to maybe rein it in a little bit. As I say, I've got lots of things to do with the house and I have lots to stitch, so I shouldn't really be purchasing too much. So I might try and calm down a little bit. But they are like the famous last words that I've said. So yeah. Now, I have a giveaway and I also want to mention some Stitchy kindness that I received. But first of all, can I thank those who bought me a coffee using my coffee link since my last video. It's really appreciated. Thank you. And a big shout out to Pauline and Sarah, who sent me a stack of fabric that I could use for giveaways. So I'm really appreciate you, first of all, thinking about me and thinking about the people who watch my channel. And I'll organise that from my next video because I had already organised a giveaway for this video. So we've got some beautiful linens to give away in the upcoming videos. So this week I've got a little giveaway for you. I have purchased the most recent Prairie Schooler Santa called Arctic Lights, and I also purchased the DMC for you. The only one that I couldn't get a hold of is the neon. So yes, unfortunately there's no neon there to do the the little lights, but I'm sure you'll either have something similar or something else that you might like to use. So yeah, so it's the chart, unused, brand new, and the DMC. If you're interested in the giveaway, it's the usual rules and regulations that apply. You should be over 18, so you can give me your address. I would like you to be a subscriber, but I'll not check, most likely. And do not mention giveaway or freebie or anything in the comment, but I would like you to use the word Santa. I'll search for the word Santa. I'll draw it just before I film my next Flosstube, which will be in a couple of weeks' time. So you've got plenty of time to watch and then leave a little comment. So that's all my kind of Stitchy related stuff. I'll do a little bit of a life update for those of you who have been interested. And if not, that's fine. I'll see you all in a couple of weeks, no problem. So last time when I was filming, I told you about the situation with my father, which is more serious than maybe any of us really realised. We're seeing a lot of problems now. He's on some medication. We're trying to build him up to 20 milligrams of the medication, but we've had some problems at 15 milligrams. And this is to do with the Alzheimer's part of the diagnosis. We've had some really rough days. And I say we, but to be honest, it's my mum. Because if I might be out or I'm working, but it's my mum. She has to deal with him. So he's been very disorientated some days. So we're desperate to follow what the doctor wants to get him to the 20 milligrams of the medication, but we're kind of stumbling. We're back at 10 at the moment because when he went on to 15, things did not go well. So we need to see what's happening there. To be honest, he can't go out on his own anymore. Him and my mum were out the other day, and he went back to the car, and she had said to him, "We'll just stay in the car. I'm only going to get something, then I'll be there." But then he came out, then he fell, and so we have a lot of that going on as well. So I'm not quite sure what we can do because he doesn't want to take any aids. He doesn't want any sticks or frames or anything like that at all. Been quite adamant about it, and of course we need to go with his wishes as well, so that's been quite trying, I think, for my mum as well. But some days are good, a lot of days are not good, so it's kind of going with the flow. But everyone who reached out to me on an individual level was wonderful. You all said, gave me some advice, which was good. And sometimes it's good just knowing that you're kind of not alone dealing with stuff like this. But it's tough on my mum. But today, we don't really leave my dad alone. He didn't want to come out today at all. So I took my mum out so that she would get a little bit of a break. And he was actually fine. Left him with the cat. Him and the cat are quite inseparable at times. And I took my mum out for lunch. And that was really quite nice for her. And he was quite calm. He had watched some old videos, old movies, black and white movies, which was quite good as well. But it's tough on my mum. My mum and dad have been together since they were 17. They're kind of approaching 50, 58 years married. So it's tough on her, and I don't know what's round the corner. So we've got a lot of legal stuff. We've started some stuff, but there's still other stuff to sort. So that's kind of ongoing as well. So yeah, I'm fine. Just getting on with life as you do. And I actually quite have a few nice things arranged, which is unusual. I have a Stitchy Day retreat at the beginning of May, which has been organised by the Ayrshire cross stitchers. And I also have a trip to Istanbul in May for 4 days with the company I work for. They're going to take us away, which is nice. So I'll fly to Amsterdam and I'll meet up with the rest of them and then fly on to Istanbul. And then at the end of May, I have a session to cover up my tattoo. I have a tattoo, something that I did years ago with my ex-husband. We got each other's names tattooed. And it's now time for me to get mine covered up. So that happens at the end of May. It's all organised, chosen the design. So I'm really happy with that. And I think that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching and to hear me prattle on about my stitching and other stuff that I got up to. I really appreciate all the likes and comments. Oh, I do have one question. A woman or somebody asked me about lipstick, and I went back to get your comment and I couldn't find your comment. So if you are the person who asked me about lipstick, please tell me again, because I have the answer, which I can tell you. Or reach out to me on Instagram and I'll tell you. And the person who asked me about nail care, somebody asked me about nail care, I've answered your comment, so you should have got the message back of what I use on my nails. But yeah, so if there's anything else you want to ask me, just certainly drop me a message below or over Instagram and I'll answer it. And happy stitching, everyone. Hope you take care, stay safe, enjoy stitching, and I'll see you in a few weeks' time. Okay, bye-bye.